bring people together, bring smiles to people's face, and I love that.
Food in general has a story.
She's like self-taught, and yet became a great chef. Maybe I can do it too.
We're all, as chefs, trying to tell a story about our lives. What we've experienced, what we've gone through, what we eat. I grew up in California, in Southern California, in a small city called Huntington Beach. I studied business and I worked on Wall Street as a banker. I ended up trying to find the passion in my life, trying to find the road that I wanted to take.
When you grew up in an Asian family, like a Vietnamese family, you were expected to become, they call it the trifecta: doctor, engineer, or lawyer. Most of my families are in medical. So of course, you know, when you're in high school, everybody's like, oh, my future doctor son, or my future dentist, my future something, medical. And I didn't like medical, you know, I hated it. I hate math, I hate physics, I hate chemistries. I failed pretty bad in school because I tried to pursue what my family wanted me to be. But then I end up searching and finding what I love, which is food.
It wasn't as glamorous as Hollywood makes it out to be. A lot of work. It's a lot of strenuous hours, missing holidays, missing family events, because you're working all the time. It was in San Francisco that I started my passion for food. I worked for a number of big restaurants in San Francisco, trying to understand my craft, trying to understand my style of food. I learned a lot of my skill set at a restaurant called Slanted Door. I worked for a chef called Charles Fan, and he really helped me become the chef I am today. I think I started as everybody else did, as a dishwasher. I remember the first time Charles came into the kitchen and he saw me in the kitchen. He thought it was a joke. You know, why am I washing dishes with everybody else? But I said it wasn't a joke. I'm here to work. And I'm hoping that you can teach me more about cooking, more about hospitality, and really making me understand what the restaurant world's all about. Charles wasn't always a chef. He used to be an architect out of UC Berkeley. And when I applied for the job, I made sure to let them know that although I'm not a chef by trade at that time, that I was thirsty to learn. And sometimes in life, we all take different paths. And just like him, he didn't continue with his architectural plans. He went into the kitchen and followed his family's business. I followed him, and 16 years later, I'm still in the kitchen today.
I read many amazing cookbooks over the years. And I found some of the books that I love to read are from chefs that are self-trained. That inspired me. I say, wow, this chef, she's like self-taught and yet became great chef. It's like, maybe I can do it too. I don't think that I do it because I want recognition. I want to be a great chef. I want to be Michelin. No, it's not. I want to do something I love to do. I love food. Food brings people together. Food opens up, friendship. Food just makes it answer everything. If you're sad, you eat. You're happy, you eat. You meet people, you eat. I work long hours, and yet it's something I love to do, and I don't feel like it's long hours. When you work, a 9-to-5 job, you get tired, and you don't want to work, every day. It's like, oh, this is tiring. You find an excuse to go to work every day, But for me, going to the restaurant every day, I love it. Because, you meet people, you see the staff, you make people happy, food brings people together. It brings smiles to people's face, and I love that. We started in July 2000. I was offered by a chef's friend to manage a restaurant. And I say no. A few days later, you come back, you want to buy a restaurant? I say, really? Okay, well, tell me more. And then so there was this restaurant that was available, and I took over. We took the concept of Mediterranean, and then so we ran with that. Because the Mediterranean cuisine based on freshness, based on olive oil, based on vegetables, based on fresh products, fresh fish, and very little of marinations. Lots of sea salt, fresh pepper, and garlic, and eggplant, and so it's quite nice. The dish is highlighted by the product, and it's very simple. What we cook in skewers is something that I love to eat every day. And when you're happy, when you cook, people can taste that. When you're unhappy and you're sad and you cook, trust me, people will not want to, they can taste the sadness, and it's like, can be too salty or too, whatever. I love Mediterranean cuisine because it's simple, it's fresh, it's tasty, and it's well known throughout the world. And it can balance with Vietnamese, taste and culture as well, because they use fresh product, just like Vietnamese food. We use fresh product.
I think understanding what the regional produce and meats look like. There are a lot of vegetables and fruits that are very special to this region of the world. We go to a lot of markets, whether it's in Saigon, Da Nang, Nha Trang. Because everybody has its own regional cuisine, we really try to understand what their stories, what they're trying to come across their food. I think markets is probably my favorite place in the world. You can learn so much about the surrounding areas and the surrounding people based on what they sell.
Cảm ơn chị nha.
Vietnam has an abundance of tropical flavors, from rambutan to pineapple to lychee. I try to bring a lot of tropic flavors to my food. And so my style of cooking is trying to take old world flavors and recipes trying to give it a new, updated look, but still staying true to the women and men who work at the markets day in and day out. Every country and every city has a wet market. I believe my job to take my surroundings and then create something different, something new, something exciting for people to eat.
Ngày đầu tiên khi mà ăn thử cái món đồ ăn, những cái món mới của Khoa thì em cảm thấy rất là hạnh phúc. Hôm nay được ăn món mới rồi, cảm thấy rất là hưng phấn, rất là vui, rất là tò mò. Nhưng mà cái món ăn thử đó chúng ta sẽ được ăn trong vòng 1 tuần luôn. Nghĩa là khi mà anh thử là em sẽ được thử cái đó nguyên 1 tuần, có khi là nguyên 1 tháng luôn.
Food in general has a story. We're all, as chefs, trying to tell a story about our lives. What we've experienced, what we've gone through, what we've eaten. I try to look at my food the same way. Whether it's Mexican food, or Korean food, or even Vietnamese food, I try to tell a story. I'm trying to let the diners experience what I know of the ingredients and respecting the food for what it is. My hometown is nearby a Latin section and also a Korean section. We were kind of jammed in the middle. Growing up, I ate a lot of Mexican food. My parents took me to a Mexican restaurant at least once a week. We were the only Vietnamese family in the whole entire restaurant. But these are the flavors that I grew up with. Tacos are convenient. They are shared by generation after generation. Their great-grandfathers took their grandfathers, took their fathers, took their child. It's something that is a social food to me. It's a food in which tacos come out, people have a good time around. Anh nấu cái lưới bò. In this city, I'm very well known for my tacos. Now, you probably ask yourself, what does tacos and Vietnam have to do with each other? Pretty much nothing. But it's something that I've been cooking pretty much my whole career, whether it's professionally or for friends and family.
That's right. Good
Something that I really know, I'm really passionate about. Tacos to me are just a vehicle to tell a story.
I love simple food. I love canh chua, cá kho tộ, right? That's one of my favorite, okay? I can eat that anytime, right? Canh chua, anytime, cá kho tộ, anytime. People ask me, hey, you're Vietnamese, how come you don't cook Vietnamese food? Well, I cannot compete with the mom and the grandmother who runs, the local shop for years and years. They're the best cook. I cannot come back and say, okay, I'm gonna do better than, so-and-so. No way. And because I respect them so much that I will not think myself to a point where I'm gonna go back and make best Vietnamese restaurant. Room is the American style bistro. So I decided to cook with some American fare. So the first thing we did was the blackened sea bass. So blackened basically is from New Orleans, so it's the Cajun and Creole style of food. So the blackened, we marinate the sea bass with 7 different kinds of herbs and spices. And we mix it all together and we bake it in the oven. And we serve it with a nice base of ratatouille, which is vegetable and tomato sauce. And the second one we did was a very classic bacon cheeseburger. We ground beef, fresh ground beef, and we grill it. So make it as simple as possible. In the oven room, we made it as American style diner slash bistro, and which is sort of American style comfort food. We serve breakfast all day, you know, and people come for that because it's easy food, not fancy. And because I grew up in the US, I was always said, you know, born in Vietnam but made in America. I want to bring part of that with me to say, hey, try this. People like it. So it's something different. Basically, for me, food it's a gateway to the world. You know, I mean, if you want to learn about Japanese culture, you eat Japanese food. You go to a Japanese restaurant, cooked by Japanese chef. And same with Italian, same with, you know, French. So it opens the door to the culture. It opens the door to, you know, for us to open our eyes to see, you know, not only just Vietnamese food. So when I decided to go back, so it wasn't easy. I can understand why, because it's hard for them. They're older, they left, they lost everything. It's very difficult. That is understandable. But for me, I was young, so I was hungry. I wanted to see the world. I want to see where I came from. You know, this is my roots. You know, I grew up in America, you know, made in America, but it's born here. This is my roots. I want to see my roots. I want to see my relatives. I want to see where I grew up, where I play. That's important for me. And I think it's important for everybody to find where you're from. Even if, say, you're not born in Vietnam, but your roots is Vietnamese, you should go back and look at your roots. This is where your ancestors are from, you know, so at least have an idea.
In 2009, I tried my first venture here in Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam once prior to moving back here, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the people, I loved the energy, I loved the rawness of the city, of the people. And I felt that I wanted to immerse myself in that lifestyle and see what would happen. Good or bad, I wanted that to be my changing point in life. And I wanted to grow from that. So I packed up my bags, I sold all my belongings, and I hopped on a plane with a one-way trip to Vietnam. I thought I knew what people wanted. I was going to bring a little bit the Western culture to Vietnam. And in 2009, that business failed miserably. And it pretty much took 90% of my savings away. I didn't know what I was doing. Business didn't do as well as I thought. It really took a big toll in my personal life. I really thought I knew what it took to open a restaurant. And Vietnam gave me a big lesson to be learned that I didn't. Western food 10 years ago, it was very few and far between. I think the Vietnamese culture still enjoyed street side eating. I think they still enjoyed eating at home. Food now in Vietnam is exciting. It really is something in which top-level chefs from all around the world are coming and setting roots here in Saigon. And it's a time in which we can all be ourselves. And we can all cook the food that we know how to cook and that we want to share with others. There's a group called Nosh. Once a year, they put on a 2-day event where they bring all the top chefs from all over the city, and we cook for the public.
It's a great platform to promote the food of the Saigonese food to the rest of the city and the community. We were lucky enough that we had, they call it the America team, and most of us happen to be Việt Kiều and some American, and we're all chefs in Vietnam, and we show people how to cook, and yet people taste the food, and so it's a great cultural event that we wanted to show, the people in Saigon, hey, there's a lot of things happening here. So bring people together, bring the whole community together.
Recently, I started a food blog. Being in Vietnam for so long, you kind of lose track of how amazing the food is here. And so we started a food blog to really enhance what the Saigon dining scene is all about. And it could be arranged from street food all the way to fine dining and everything in between. Yeah, we're really good time here. So yeah, we're excited about going to Bún Đậu Mắm Tôm. We're excited to try my favorite food, give you guys an inside look on what we eat, how we eat, where we eat, live in Saigon. I looked at it as an experience to revisit all the restaurants that we have in Saigon. As a chef and restaurateur, I'm around food all day long. So the last thing I really want to do is think about where to eat at. We found this blog as a chance to revisit some of the key restaurants that made Saigon what it is, and some new ones that are coming onto the scene, and giving them a voice and letting everybody know, who they are and what they're all about. All right, here we go. Up here you have mung that's already packaged, ready to go for these hungry customers.
I think that the Saigon is just the people, the energy, so much vibration in this city. It's just fantastic. I mean, you walk around the city, people smile. Cities is great because of that. It's, you feel home.
We are all at the right place at the right time. It may not be what you want. It may not be what you dreamt of. But there's something to learn. You can't have sweet without the sour. I needed to experience what I have over the last 10 years. I needed to fail before I could rebuild and become who I am today. I'm thankful for everything that we've gone through, good or bad. And the people we've met, that we've fed, that we've cooked for. I'm thankful for each and every one of them because they gave me an opportunity to tell my story, to share my food and share my journey. If I could tell myself 10 years ago, I would say, don't be so close-minded, and don't be so sure of yourself, because you never know what lies ahead of you. Take everything with a grain of salt. Try your best, do your best, but always remember where you came from